Good evening everyone, and welcome to our Caribbean and Bahamas weather news. A brand new week begins with plenty of activity across the tropical Atlantic. After the complete dissipation of Tropical Storm Jerry, a new disturbance, now officially designated as Invest 97L, has been identified by the National Hurricane Center far out in the eastern Atlantic. Although it is still a long distance away from the Caribbean, the appearance of this system signals that the tropics are gradually waking up again as we move deeper into October. In tonight's broadcast we will bring you the latest on 97L, what it means for our region, and what areas are likely to see rain, thunderstorms, or rough seas over the next several days, from Puerto Rico and Hispaniola to Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas. Across most of the Caribbean this morning, moist easterly trade winds have been blowing steadily, bringing scattered clouds and periods of showers. Satellite imagery shows a thick band of clouds stretching from east of Puerto Rico across central Cuba and into the Bahamas. While farther south the islands of Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados have enjoyed longer intervals of sunshine between passing clouds. The remnants of Jerry have now lost all organization. What remains is a weak low-pressure area a few hundred kilometers southeast of Bermuda. It is rapidly running out of energy and will disappear entirely within the next 36 hours, leaving no further impact on land. In the wake of Jerry, however, stronger easterly winds have returned and sea conditions have become more unsettled. In Puerto Rico and across the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, gusts of 25 to 30 miles per hour were measured earlier today. Especially near St. Croix and Arecibo, thunderclouds have been forming along the western slopes of the island, producing short bursts of rain and lightning that can momentarily reduce visibility. Between those showers the sun has broken through, pushing afternoon temperatures up to around 90 to 93 degrees Fahrenheit. With the heat index exceeding 100 because of high humidity, residents in San Juan, Bayamón, and Ponce should watch out for temporary street flooding during heavier downpours. Moving westward to Hispaniola, scattered showers have been forming along the southern coast from Barahona to Santo Domingo as moist easterly air climbs the terrain. Some of these storms can be quite heavy for a short time, and several communities in Haiti, including Port-au-Prince, have already seen rain this morning. More activity is expected later this evening. Local meteorological agencies are advising caution for the possibility of flash flooding or small landslides on saturated slopes. Rain is likely to ease slightly by tomorrow, but breezy trade winds will continue to bring occasional showers to coastal areas. Farther north, the Leeward Islands, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, and Montserrat, are enjoying generally fair weather with long sunny intervals. However, winds remain brisk, reaching up to 35 miles per hour at Guadeloupe, and those strong trades can still push a few quick showers across the islands. Mariners and small fishing boats should exercise caution, as choppy seas could pose difficulties near the reefs and coastal channels. In contrast, the southern Windward Islands, from Martinique to Grenada and Trinidad and Tobago, remain under the influence of the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Humidity is high, and radar from Trinidad shows several clusters of thunderstorms moving westward. Gusts of 35 to 40 miles per hour accompany some of these storms. And rainfall totals today range from 20 to 40 millimeters, locally higher in northern Tobago. The rain comes and goes quickly, but with ground already damp, localized flooding is still possible in low-lying urban areas. St. Lucia and Barbados report a mix of sunshine and clouds with about a 40% chance of afternoon showers. The most active weather of all is over the Bahamas, where heavy showers and thunderstorms continue to develop along a nearly stationary boundary extending from Exuma through Long Island and Cat Island northward to Eleuthera, Abaco, and Grand Bahama. Radar imagery this afternoon shows numerous storm cells producing frequent lightning and bursts of torrential rain. Local forecasters have issued short-term warnings for strong storms and potential flash flooding across parts of the central and northwest Bahamas. Winds could gust 30 to 35 miles per hour, and seas are expected to build to 6 or 7 feet. Showers and storms will likely persist into tonight and early Monday, gradually drifting north toward Bimini and the Abacos. Across Cuba, deep tropical moisture streaming from the western Caribbean continues to trigger widespread showers and thunderstorms across the central and eastern provinces, including Santiago de Cuba, Holguín, and Camagüey. Along the southern coastline, a few brief waterspouts cannot be ruled out when convection peaks during the afternoon. Rain is expected to linger through midweek before easing as a weak cold front moves south and begins to dry the air aloft. Over Jamaica, a ring of sea breeze-driven thunderstorms has formed around the island. Heavy afternoon rain and thunder are expected across Westmoreland, Hanover, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. With the risk of gusty winds and localized flooding, the Meteorological Service has issued marine thunderstorm advisories for small craft, and fishermen are advised not to venture offshore late in the day when storms tend to move inland from the sea. In the Cayman Islands, conditions change rapidly: sunshine one moment, rain the next. After each passing shower, brilliant rainbows have been spotted across Grand Cayman. Temperatures reach about 88 degrees Fahrenheit with humidity near 90%. Another 1 or 2 rounds of rain are likely early this week, delivering 50 to 70 millimeters in some areas. Farther west, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao have finally received long-awaited rainfall after weeks of dry weather. Scattered lightning showers over the weekend brought 15 to 30 millimeters of rain, a welcome relief for agriculture and water supplies. Additional passing showers are expected through midweek, mainly in the afternoons and early evenings. Out over the Atlantic, Invest 97L has now become the main focus of forecasters. The National Hurricane Center currently assigns it a medium 30 to 40% chance of development within 7 days. However, computer models are unanimous that the system will move quickly toward the northwest and north, away from the tropical belt and into higher latitudes. This trajectory means 97L poses no direct threat to the Caribbean or the Bahamas. The GFS, ECMWF, and ICON models all show it recurving harmlessly into the open ocean, where it should weaken under strong upper-level wind shear. Attention is already shifting toward another tropical wave emerging from the west coast of Africa. Unlike 97L, this new wave is traveling along a lower latitude, around 10 to 12 degrees north, across sea surface temperatures of about 29 degrees Celsius. If it maintains organization, it could become the next area of interest by the end of the week, possibly approaching the eastern Caribbean in 7 to 10 days. Another feature worth noting is a potential weak low that might develop in the northwestern Caribbean and the southern Gulf of Mexico late this week, where rich tropical moisture could interact with a fading cold front pushing southward from North America. Even if it never gains tropical characteristics, such a setup could lead to several days of heavy rainfall for Cuba, Jamaica, and the Bahamas, with local totals between 100 and 150 millimeters and isolated spots topping 200 millimeters near southern coastal zones. Rainfall projections for the next 3 days show Jamaica, the Caymans, and central Cuba as the wettest areas, each expecting 70 to 120 millimeters, locally 150 or more. Central and northern Bahamas should receive 50 to 100 millimeters, while Trinidad, Tobago, and the Windward see 20 to 60 millimeters, mostly in afternoon showers. Puerto Rico and the Leewards will have lighter amounts, around 10 to 40 millimeters, but occasional gusts to 35 miles per hour may produce rougher seas. Over the open Atlantic, a powerful nor'easter is also impacting the U.S. East Coast. Although it's not tropical, it is generating large swells, 6 to 10 feet high, that are radiating outward and causing dangerous rip currents around Bermuda and the northern Bahamas. Fishing and cruise operations are urged to postpone departures until conditions settle. Looking ahead over the next week, during Monday and Tuesday, showers and thunderstorms will spread across Cuba, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and the Caymans. Mid-week, moisture shifts eastward, bringing more rain to the Windwards and Trinidad and Tobago. By late week and into the weekend, all eyes will be on that new African wave, which could organize and approach the Lesser Antilles early next week. In summary, Invest 97L appears to be a harmless fish storm. Scattered storms across the Caribbean will continue to bring beneficial rainfall along with some localized flooding. The African wave is the next system to watch as we move into the latter half of October. Rough seas will persist near the Bahamas and Cuba, so mariners should remain alert. Even though no major tropical threat is imminent, this pattern is a reminder that conditions can change rapidly during the height of the hurricane season. A few safety reminders before we close. Communities in low-lying parts of Jamaica, Haiti, and the Bahamas should keep drainage channels clear and stay ready for sudden flash floods. Fishermen and tour guides should monitor marine weather bulletins closely and avoid late-day departures. Small craft should be securely moored, and coastal residents should stay informed through official forecasts. You're watching Tropical World News, your trusted source for accurate and timely updates on tropical weather. Tonight's program is proudly sponsored by Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys, offering free policy reviews and guidance on wind, flood, and storm damage claims. For details, visit leaninlaw.com. If you found this forecast useful, please like, subscribe, and share so that more people across the islands can stay prepared. We also welcome your photos and videos of rain, lightning, sunsets, or those brilliant post-storm rainbows. Send them in, and we may feature them in a future report. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. I'm Rusty, wishing you calm seas and safe skies. We'll be back tomorrow with the very latest on Invest 97L and the developing African wave. Until then, take care, stay weather aware, and may your evening be peaceful under the Caribbean sky.